What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening today, buddy?
I actually have a bit of breaking news right now.
Whoa.
I've spent about 45 to 75 minutes in a Fall Guys lobby waiting for more players. Yeah, in queue. And I suspect that has something to do with, probably about 1 million people trying to get into the service because it's just gone free to play on many
everywhere,
platforms.
right?
So I'm taking that with a little bit of a bitter tea today, but we'll have more on that tomorrow. I'm sure there's going to be explanation brought forward.
Absolutely, dude. It's wow, that one hurts. It was on PC, it was on PlayStation for the longest time, right? We wondered for so long, when is it coming over to other consoles, other platforms?
My anticipation.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You're like, yo, I can't wait for this. And you still have to wait. But so many people jumped on the minute it launched. It was like, yo, here we go again. I wonder if they didn't really anticipate the amount of people that were going to launch. They also flipped it too, right? So if you had it on PlayStation, you need to delete that file and then re-download it again because it's actually a whole new service, because it is free to play. So they've reformatted the whole situation and how it functions. So yeah, they said delete it and then reinstall the new one, because the whole free to play model then will allow everybody to cross. I think you can cross play with everybody. I think that's the biggest thing too, right? PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC. Yeah, you can turn it off, which is awesome. I always like that feature.
I don't suspect it will improve my lobby wait time.
I doubt that.
We'll find out. Like I said, tomorrow. I'm going to be probing this one today.
Well, you can probe, Scott. Is everybody joining us over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews at 11 a.m. Eastern. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up on today's show, starts off with a little bit of a disappointment news again. Scott, Activision has canceled the latest Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remakes, and fans are in an uproar over the news. That's, dude, this one baffles my mind, but we'll get into that one. A game-breaking bug for Star Wars fans on the Nintendo Switch appears, and Sucker Punch is hiring more staff for what could be Ghost of Tsushima 2. Yeah, let's go, baby. That was, oh man,
a little bit of disappointment leading to a little bit of excitement here.
Absolutely. So let's get over it and done with this one. Tony Hawk says Activision scrapped a 3 and 4 remake following Vicarious Visions merger. What? This comes from Andy Robinson over at VGC.
Man, 3's the one I played as a kid.
Dude, so many of us play all these games. Like, I remember playing 1 and 2 and then going back, and then 3 came around. It was so, what a time shift in gaming back in the day. It was such a it was a money-making juggernaut at the time, dude, and it makes a lot of sense to bring it back now. So this is where I'm a little confused. The planned remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 was canned due to Activision Blizzard's decision to absorb 1 and 2 developer Vicarious Visions. What? That's according to the Pro Skater himself, who claimed during a live stream on Monday that Activision had briefly taken pitches from other studios, but allegedly wasn't happy with any of them. Quote, "That was the plan, even up until the release date of 1 and 2, end quote. Hawk said, quote, "We are doing 3 and 4, and then Vicarious got kind of absorbed, and then they were looking for other developers, and then it was over," end quote. Ouch. He added, quote, "The truth of it is, Activision were trying to find somebody to do 3 and 4, but they just didn't really trust anyone the way they did Vicarious." So, Scott,
but they absorbed why not?
You own the studio.
Do the next one. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Quote, "So they took other pitches from other studios, like," that's weird, "what you would do when the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater title," end quote. "And they didn't like any of them they heard, and that was it." Oh man, who knows? Maybe then when the dust settles, we'll figure it out. You never know. I never would have thought we would be going to do 1 and 2 20 years later, end quote. Well, I give him that, right? You kind of thought the whole series was done at this point, and there's a lot of series I think we'd like to see come back in one way or another. Metal Gear, but Scott,
there's far too many to list.
Yep. Northern
I was talking about F-Zero, and then I found an F-Zero adjacent game, we're good.
Yep. No, Nerdcast says, just saying, not expecting a lot of people in this day and age is the worst excuse a company can make. You have a massive game like that. You should fully be expecting to be bogged down. He's talking about, okay, sorry. I got a little ahead of myself here. He's talking about Fall Guys. Absolutely. The servers, especially, dude, they got Epic's money. Like they're working with Epic. They should have massive servers ready to go. And then Northern, really, Bobby Kotick hates skaters. Well, there's who knows about that, but it's dude, getting back to Vicarious Visions, you own the company, why not just let them make the next one? They're clearly fans of the franchise. They had a huge success with the remake of 1 and 2. Scott, why wouldn't they do the 3rd and 4th?
I have an alternate idea. Dare I say a McTwist? What about Tony Hawk Underground? Underground 2? Those were monumental back in the day. I think they kind of reinvented the wheel, the board. The whole package got put into this just giant upgrade. And if I saw that come to new gen, that I would easily pay more than suggested retail for that.
Man, it blows my mind because of the success of Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Isn't that enough of a caveat and sorry, not a caveat, but a forthright of saying that, dude, like, the success is there. The fans are hungry for it once again. Everybody's been starving for Skate 4, or I think Skate 4. Is it Skate 4 or Skate 5?
Skate 4.
Skate 4. It is Skate 4. Yeah. It's not
man,
there.
There's another one that needs to come back.
Right? So
we're gonna be on that topic today, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. There's so many people that love the skate games, and yet there's still nothing. EA apparently rumored to be working on something, but there's, I think, another opportunity here for Tony Hawk.
Skate 3 could have come out with the longboard DLC, and I could have just, retired the series after that. You've gone all the way, but no. They have other plans. I'm just hoping that comes back, just like Fable and Perfect Dark. One day, I may have gray hair.
I just don't get what Activision is doing here with Vicarious Visions, and just they seem to be shuttering the studio, and it just kind of blows my mind. If they have a good studio that works on something, why not keep them on it instead of pulling them in to work on Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's not something. It's almost out of the playbook of EA, but they've not released their own skate to compete in this case.
Well, that's fair. Well, let's get over to the next one, Scott, because we got some bad news for Star Wars fans. The new Star Wars game has massive game-breaking bug on Nintendo Switch. So here's a heads up if you have this. This is from Mark over comicbook.com. Earlier this month, Espire released Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic to the Sith Lords on Nintendo Switch. Unsurprisingly, a lot of Nintendo fans were excited to check out the game for the first time, but there's one big problem. No one could actually finish it. Yeah, it seems that the game crashes when players reach what is that? Scott Basilisk crash cutscene. So there's
Basilisk, yeah,
a number of fans have raised concerns with the issue, and Espire has now addressed the problem on Twitter. Apparently, the bug will be fixed in an upcoming patch, but a specific release window is currently unknown. Quote, yes, we are aware, and our dev team is working on delivering the patch as soon as possible. We apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your patience in the meantime, end quote, the company wrote on Twitter. Scott, that sucks, dude. That's really unfortunate. People pay a lot of money to get into these games and have a good time and not be able to finish it. The good news is they did take it to Twitter to say, hey, we know there's an issue. We'll get it resolved. Hopefully it's just sooner than later.
Yeah, they have to acknowledge it. That is the right move, in my opinion. And this is really unfortunate because there was a game-breaking bug in Pillars of Eternity as well on Switch. And I know they did resolve that. They fixed that after a little while. So hopefully this one can get fixed as well. I never played KOTOR 2. Did you?
No, I never did either. But I'm waiting for the remake to come out on PlayStation.
Yeah, that updated would be nice, and let them work the bugs out first.
Well, that's just it. I'm waiting to, because everybody talks about how memorable and magical this game is, right? When it first launched, it was huge. For sure. So they're remaking number 1, and I'm like, wow, this could be the time to check it out, because I never had the opportunity. I was just kind of wrapped up in other stuff, I guess, at the time, and never jumped in at all.
You don't know the spoiler. Perhaps.
I don't know anything, so please don't.
All right, I will save you. I will save you from that because that was magical the first time around. Man.
That's
I
the biggest
remember
thing.
being 13 or something, and I watched my friend play the entire game, start to finish.
Really?
Which is an insane amount of time. Yeah, I think that might have run into like 18, 20 hours. We were kids, cackling the whole time.
Oh man, I don't know. It looks cool. I don't. Well, so if they're remaking 1, will they remake 2, Scott? You think?
I think it'll hinge on the commercial success. If they can sell a lot of number 1, I would expect number 2 to follow. But if it ends up being kind of dead in the water, then I wouldn't expect it. But
do you really think it's gonna be dead in the water?
No, but then again, look what happened with Tony Hawk. I believe the 1 and 2 remaster sold well.
Yeah, but that's an Activision move.
That's a management issue, I believe. Yeah.
Absolutely, right? I don't think it has anything to do with the outcome of the game. It has everything to do with the studio uppers to take care of what they're creating there. And I think that comes from the top with, I don't necessarily mean the top with Bobby, but somebody above them decided to can it. And it's just, man, I saw Twitter blow up yesterday about this. And I was like, Activision just can't figure their stuff out right now, and it's disappointing because they have gold right there in front of them. And the fans are just asking for it. So if you can generate the money that you need to make, that you obviously do well over Activision, and yet still are able to please the fans, then why wouldn't you do that? And then you get into Star Wars here, dude, it's a huge IP, massive there's a huge fan library for them to dive into. There's so much world building in here, like, dude, it's unbelievable.
There is a bit of fatigue, Star Wars fatigue, but I think we're at the end of that now. Fallen Jedi Order is definitely what kind of reversed that. So
yes,
hopefully this one strikes true.
Dude, Jedi Fallen Order 1 was incredible. I cannot wait for the sequel. I'm thinking we're probably 3 years out, maybe still 3 or even 4 from seeing the full light of that game, which is just, man, I'd love to see that sooner than later.
I miss liking Star Wars.
I love Star Wars. I have a good time. Right now I'm watching Obi-Wan, and dude,
I did like Mandalorian. I have not watched Obi-Wan.
Oh man, Mandalorian was good. Boba Fett, not really clicking. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I've heard that. Obi-Wan though, being Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, well, he does it right.
Perfect choice. You cannot do it with anybody else. It's like it's like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. You just have to retire that character afterwards.
Well, he's talking about too that he's up for season 2. So like, yo, let's do it, because fans are hungry for it right now. There is Star Wars. It's funny because we had like a big Marvel MCU crave, and then it seems like that kind of faded off, and it's all Star Wars right now. And I wonder kind of what's the next big wave of media coming our way. But dude, you know what? The Last of Us is going to be the next big wave, because the Last of Us TV show, the remake, part 2, multiplayer. Yo, I'm all for it.
I'm going to jump on that part 1 on PC immediately.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. All right, let's get into the next topic. It is for sure looking like Sucker Punch is hiring for Ghost of Tsushima 2. Woohoo! Comes from Dom over at VG247. It makes sense. The Sucker Punch would want to make a series out of Ghost of Tsushima, a game that has sold over 8 million copies to date. Well, do we bring it up? We do bring it up, because Days Gone did the same thing, and yet we will not see Days Gone 2, Scott. Bring that to the forefront, unfortunately,
that one
right?
Still bites. Well, just like Days Gone, though, if this goes PC, I am all over that. And, in the meantime, I may find a PlayStation. I'm just not ready to sell my arm and leg for it.
No, I hear you there. So when the job ads crop up, hiring for an unannounced open world stealth game, or our minds automatically turn to Ghost of Tsushima 2. Per 2 new job ads for Sucker Punch website, one asking for technical combat designer and one asking for a senior combat designer. We may have some preliminary details about what the studio is looking to achieve with its next title, thanks to Tech 4 Gamers. The job ads both state a desire for staffers' experience with melee combat and stealth, as well as working in open world scenarios. Given that the precious game from the studio featured all of these elements, it's not a stretch to think that this could feasibly be Ghost of Tsushima 2. I don't doubt this is exactly what it is, which kind of makes me sad to realize it's going to be still so far away, Scott, if that's what they're working on.
It certainly is, yeah. Now,
Right?
you scrubbed the entire Ghost of Tsushima, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the DLC? Was that
Iki
Iki
Island.
Island?
Yes, it was,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic. It was so good. It's funny.
I
I
wonder
keep
if
thinking
there's
to go
anything
back to
more
the game.
planned.
No, they're done.
Okay.
So they did Ghost of Tsushima. Then they came out with Legends, which is like the multiplayer. So there's like a horde mode, or you can do a bit of a mini. I wouldn't say a mini, give or take. It's like six or eight missions in co-op, which is awesome, dude. It was a blast. I played that with my brother. It was a ton of fun. And then they came out with Iki Island DLC, and then they said that's it. We are finished. It's like, okay, clearly you're moving on to the sequel or into another open world stealth game, but you gotta think with the success of Ghost of Tsushima, they are coming out with a movie as well, right? So it makes a lot of sense that this is where they're gearing towards next with their next project. But are they big enough? Is Sucker Punch big enough to be working on 2 titles, Scott?
Ooh, it's possible,
right?
But especially because this movie coming out, I think this is the birth of a new IP, multimedia IP. I like the sound of that.
There you go. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima came out 2 years ago. So we are, honestly, in hindsight, we're probably 3 years out from seeing this.
Was it only 2 years ago? I'm telling you, everything's a blur the last 2 years for me. I've got a good excuse for that, but holy, I thought that game came out quite a while back.
It's man, I can't wait to see more. I definitely want to. It was one of those. I even looked at like the trophy list to see if I'm up for a platinum on that one, and I went back and said no. There's a lot of time to go into it. I'm like, I don't have that time.
The other platinum, did you get that one?
No, I got stuck in. So Horizon Forbidden West, I wanted to get the platinum. It's still what I'm kind of toying with.
This is an ongoing gag at this point, but it is legitimate though.
It's gonna be. I should just do it so I can shut you all up.
I just want to see you get that cathartic release. I'm a G doctor. I know exactly what you're feeling.
Well, it's there, dude. It's always like lingering on the back of my mind of, yo, you're like this close. You just got to do a couple things here or there and just get back into the game. It's funny though, because I've been out of the game for so long. You jump back in and go, how does mechanics work? Like what am I doing again? I got into some of these pit fights and they're like a tutorial situation. Dude, I find them really annoying. And it turned me off. Like it completely turned me off from doing them. And I was talking to my brother about it. He says they're an absolute pain.
I had the same experience in Elden Ring because I tried to go back to it. And
are you gonna go back?
Oh, I am. It doesn't matter if it's now or 100 years from now. I'm going back. But
you say that.
I just have to expect getting slapped up a bit.
Well, so Nate's still on Elden Ring. Dude's like 300 some odd hours in, playing with his brothers.
Thing.
Dude,
I got it on my Xbox after having it on PC now, specifically to play with Nate. But I feel like I'm going to miss the window. He's going to go through it all, and then
I don't think he's going anywhere. So you have an opportunity to jump in with him and play. I think now's the time. He's played it like 3 times already because of his brothers. He keeps bouncing back with them and then bouncing back with this one. Yeah, he bounced back with you again.
And Benny, I might need your help, guys.
Just tell him to move over.
Benny's like level 1000 or something now. So
Ben's grinding through it too. It's hilarious, man. What a game! What a game! I wish it clicked, and it just doesn't click. I'd rather play Ghost of Tsushima or Horizon Forbidden West. But dude, let's get in what Sony's up to next. Is Sony to reveal? Ready? 3. Whoa! I just went to the end of the dock, Scott. It shot me right to the bottom. Hang on 1 second. We're announcing 3 new headsets and 2 new monitors next week. This comes from Tom Henderson.
A new headset. Oh no!
The new InZone H series headsets and monitors are coming from Sony. Last week, so this comes from Tom Henderson over at Xpeter. Last week, I reported via Tryhard Guides that Sony was gearing up to potentially reveal a new PlayStation 5 Pro controller in the near future. This assumption was based on the knowledge that Sony is in fact revealing new hardware at the end of this week. Dude, that's exciting. I definitely want to take a look. I'm a huge fan of what Sony is pumping out all the time. Like we're gamers is what we do. Although there is been no confirmation of the controllers will be revealed or not, it does make sense. There's still no official confirmation or quote insider end quote confirmation that this is the case. However, sources have confirmed to their knowledge what will be shown off from Sony next week. Information on one set of hardware has already been revealed, which is Sony's new headsets. These are the new InZone H series headsets. The 3 sets will be revealed next week. The InZone H3, H7, and H9 all come with 360 spatial sound, for gaming and are all Discord certified. Well, that's cool.
I'm not certain what Discord certified means, but that seems more of like a computer issue.
Absolutely.
It's not, but
dude,
I have to say I don't like the nomenclature here. H3, 7, and 9.
Why?
What's up with that?
Yeah. So here, H3 wired headset, cheapest headset, 360 spatial sound. H7 wireless headset, 360 spatial sound, best battery life. H9 wireless headset, 360 spatial sound, most expensive headset, noise canceling sound as well. So
okay.
It's definitely cool.
That will kill the battery. That makes sense then. Noise canceling is quite an interesting technology, actually.
Yeah, and according to my sources, one of these monitors, he's talking about the monitors now. Where did I lose the other one? The price points on the headsets are yet to be revealed. In addition to the 3 new headsets, Sony is also set to reveal 2 brand new gaming monitors under the InZone brand. The feature, quote, exclusive features for PlayStation, end quote, which includes auto HDR tone mapping and auto genre picture mode. Dude, that's
okay. Is it gonna read that you're playing a horror game and automatically reduce the brightness and things
maybe
like that?
It could be jumping in. This is Sony jumping into PC world, dude. They're getting ready, right? They're ready to. Will we see day and date launch on PC and PlayStation? You think?
We've seen them dip their toes for the last several years now.
They're coming around. Awesome. It's exciting to see that they're starting to actually kind of open their eyes up a little bit and go, you know what? Yeah, we're huge on PlayStation, but we also know that there's huge opportunity in the world of PC, and why leave those players out? They just want to play too.
Innovation. Everybody thinks of Nintendo, or at least previously it was thought about Nintendo for innovating, bringing that technology to the forefront of gaming, whether it's the Wii Waggle or all the way up to the Switch controller. But now it seems like Sony has taken the crown. They've gone from having, I believe they were the first one to have 2 dual analog sticks.
Yep, they were.
And they've gone, I'm doing this, funny enough, but it was more like this. But then they did the PlayStation VR. They had the eye camera. I believe they were the first in that technology too. We have articulated triggers now. I'm curious what this next controller is going to bring. But now they're spilling into all sorts of hardware. It is exciting.
It's very exciting, right? And according to Tom's sources, one of these monitors will be for 4K gaming at 140 hertz, whereas the other will be full HD gaming at 240 hertz. Both devices will be described as being perfect for PS5. So if you don't have a TV, you hook it up to your gaming monitor, and away you go. Dude, we need to get our hands on these things and test them out for the show.
Yeah, we do have several reviews up there of some interesting hardware, and I, for one, would gladly test these out.
Absolutely. Scott.
Especially with a PlayStation 5 Pro.
We know it's coming, dude. It's just a matter of time. When is the Pro going to be here? But Scott, we're almost out of time. Speaking of, what games do we have coming out today?
Well, we have the previously mentioned Fall Guys. It is now released just about everywhere. We have it on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S1, and Switch. It seems like it would fit very well on the Switch. We also have the Shadowrun trilogy, and that is on Xbox Series X, S1, PlayStation 4, 5, and the Switch. And we have Wreckfest making its way to the Switch now. We've played a bit of that game. I had a lot of fun.
It is a ton of fun, actually. And one last one, too, Scott. There's the Elder Scrolls Online High Isles chapter is now available for consoles. So
I believe that is the Breton area, which has not had attention so far.
Are you going to check it out? Dude, I'm so tempted.
I'm not feeling the ESO. I tried to get into Elder Scrolls Online, but I kind of teetered off. After exploring Elsewhere, I'd seen all I wanted to see.
It's the thing is, I watched the cinematic and I'm like, yo, that looks incredible.
Oh, they do great cinematics,
right? And then you get into the game, I'm like, this isn't the cinematic.
It plays a little bit too much like World of Warcraft for me, and that's fine. It's its own whole world, but I'm just not in there.
There's so many people that are in here, and it's really cool to see, Scott. But for me, I want in, but I can't get in. And it's one of those situations.
I want it to play like Skyrim, but online.
Oh, that's yeah, absolutely, dude. I hear that. But Scott,
then again, look what happened to Fallout 76.
we're gonna wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.
Yeah.